Hello slashing friends, if you're looking for very strong DPS on the Spellblade Last Epoch, this one will be perfect for the endgame with massive DPS and also a very big generation of wards. I'll explain how it works in the video, and if you like the content, don't forget to subscribe. Before explaining you the build, you need to understand how it works. So you have teleport to grant you some buffies and the mobility, flame ward to grant you also some buffies and some warding, and you can also use enchant weapon if you want to have a small buff of DPS. After that, we'll be using Mana Strike. It will trigger automatically our Frost Claw and also Lightning Blast, and globally apply Spark Charge. It's important that we have our full setup of DPS in order to do plenty of damage. We'll also be at around 100% of critical strike chance. And the last thing is that, as you can see, when you hit an enemy, it will grant you tons of wards. So the idea is that when you are in combat, you'll be almost unkillable. Now for the skill and the Mana Strike, you want to get this node in order to have a ranged Mana Strike on your cursor. You also want 1 point here in order to boost your base crit chance and the auto target, and this one to boost your damage. You can put 4 points here in order to have a better attack speed, and then you want to have the Spark Charge just here. You also want to get here in order to have a Mana Arc, and you also want to boost your Mana Arc. For the teleport, you want to have increased armor, increased damage, some resistances just here, increased cooldown and haste duration, and this one to increase teleport buff duration. For the Frost Claw, you want to have this one in order to convert it into a lightning damage and to convert frostbite into choke chance. That's why you also want to get here some damage and frostbite chance, and this one to have some mana cost reduction, this one for the critical strike chance. You also want to get here in order to have some ward here and the fact that you can cast Frost Claw with your Mana Strike. You also want to get through here in order to have the fact that they will target the same target and will greatly boost your single DPS damage. We have more than enough DPS on AoE, so that's why it's important to get this one. You also want for the Lightning Blast to get this boost, which will also be applied to allies, so it's cool if you have some allies to play with, and you want to get these nodes in order to have the Spark Charge and its boosts. Finally, for this spell, you want to get here, get the fact that you can have additional chain, and this one also for the chance to hit the same target and also to boost your DPS on single target. You also want to get this one in order to boost the damage, and just 1 point to have the lightning Aegis. For the Flame Ward, you'll get the duration mana efficiency, some damage, convert it into lightning, and 3 points to gain some ward, to get some ward retention when you have the buff, and 3 points for the damage, elemental damage, and this one for the damage. Now for the gear, you want to get twice this set because they will grant you some ward and also chance to shock. It's important to get this one so you can get 2 of them, and then you want to have lightning critical strike multiplier, the best armor that you can get, and also chance to apply a spark charge on melee hit. You also want for the armor +3 to Mana Strike, some resistances, intelligence, and for the belt lightning damage, cooldown and critical strike avoidance. For the boots, you want to have intelligence, movement speed, if possible hybrid life instead of heals, and you want also critical strike avoidance. For the gloves, you want to get some intelligence, melee attack speed, and resistances. For the amulet, you want spell critical strike chance, lightning damage, some resistances, and make sure to use a base with melee attack speed. For the unique, you want to have this one in order to trigger Lightning Blast and also to give you some ward, resistances, spell critical strike multiplier, and make sure to get melee attack speed, increased tensions, and if possible some boost to critical. You also want to get this one in order to boost the spark and to get +1 to lightning skills. For the affixes, ward per second or damage boost. For the relic, you'll want damage taken on mana before heals, +1 to mage skill, and on it try to get some damage or some resistances. For the idols, make sure to have a chance to apply a spark charge on a melee hit, it's very important, and you can also get some resistances in order to finish your setup. For the blessings, you want to have some life just here. Here you'll want to get additional resistances. This one you want to have some armor. This one you want to have also increased armor. And finally, this one, a chance to shred lightning resistance on hit. For the passives, you want to have intelligence, some resistances, heals and mana, and 5 points here in order to have a better ward retention. You also want 5 points for the attack speed, and you can put 10 points here in order to have the passive, intelligence, and the spell critical strike chance, and what you have left in mana and armor. You also want to get here in order to get some heals, and this one to boost your critical chance, and this one to have 5 points for the damage, and to unlock this in order to turn your fire aura, which is generated here, in a lightning aura. You also want here 8 points to get some ward when you hit an enemy with a melee attack, and this one to get a shield, granting you some damage taken reduced and also ward per second. You also want to get this node in order to have more arcane shields and better armor. You want 5 points to get some ward and melee attack speed, 5 points to get some melee lightning damage, and 5 points here for the spell damage. Finally, 10 points here in order to have intelligence and ward per second, and this one to also have additional ward per second based on intelligence. I'll finish with the gameplay, and keep in mind these few things. You want to use teleport for the buffies and for the mobility, and also flame ward for the buffies and the tankiness. Then all you need to do is hitting with mana strike in order to kill your enemies and get some wards, and you can also use your weapon buff if you need. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget that you have the tool in the link below the video, and if you have any question, feel free to post in the comments so I can answer you.